are we expecting with white from Fabi?
E4.
You beat me to it, James.
You know what I'm saying? E4 all day, baby. You already know. Come on now.
Yeah. When these two play each other, they don't alter their styles that much. Hikaru.
Oh, what was that?
That's how you feel, Fabi? That's how you feel, bro?
Is that a surprise on move one? How big of a shocker is this for Hikaru? He was definitely expecting 1e4 as well.
Yeah, but I think it's a smart decision by Fabiano Caruana. You don't want to have a target on your back. You don't want your opponents to be able to prepare deeply for you every single time. So playing a queen c2 Nimzo, which is what we're seeing here, it's a good idea. White already has secured the pair of bishops, and this intermezzo by Hikaru, just kicking the queen away, this is all standard opening fare. Neither side has played a novelty. I like the choice from Fabiano, but I like the reaction from Hikaru.
Yeah, I will say that Hikaru Nakamura is very predictable in this variation. In the Queen C2 Nimzo, he sticks to his repertoire, never kind of moves it up there. And Fabi, he would have been studying this exact position beforehand. You see the speed of the two players at this early stage. Black is so well mobilized. Look at all of Black's pieces centralized. Black is castled. Fabi still needs to catch up a bit, but long-term, White is doing great. Extra central pawn, 2 versus 1 in the E and D files there, and the bishop pair. We talk about it a lot, but it can be vital.
Is now Fabi wanting to come over to the opponent's side, bring that knight to that central e5 square?
Yeah, maybe a threat on the board, Tanya. If Black just takes a timeout, plays a very logical type of move, we mentioned this earlier, just either supporting a pawn push or taking control of some key squares, then the knight can potentially jump in. And I think the reason you're highlighting this, Tanya, is because there's a threat. You want to take this knight, win a pawn, or at least wreck Black's structure. And Black, of course, cannot capture in the center because of this double attack. Costs material. And, okay, Hikaru defends against that potential threat of the knight jumping into e5 by plonking his own knight in the white half, and okay, eyeing up this pawn potentially, and that whole idea is White cannot kick you yet, or maybe you can, but at least it would come at the cost of this rook's pawn.
And the last time these two played, it's not just the score, but the scoreline. In just 3 games, Fabiano Caruana took that match. And that's definitely going to be something that's on Hikaru's mind. He can't be feeling too easy. This is Fabi in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, the last 2 these met when Hikaru had Black. Fabi won, and what a move by Fabiano, kicking back that Black knight immediately. He's on a winning streak of 2 games in a row with the white pieces against Hikaru. Could it be 3 now? I don't see what Black can actually reply to this move with. If you take that pawn, you would have got trapped. Let's just show this. Hikaru, oh, not a move he wants to play. He retreats, and now it's just a clear pawn advantage for White. But if he had been greedy here and grabbed a pawn, then there would have been consequences. Okay, the knight would have been trapped. But yeah, Fabi now just moved the white queen off the line of the black rook, and White has an advantage. Just to show that here, knight takes pawn would have been met by the very strong queen to c5. The knight is trapped. No escape squares.
David, what happens after queen e7? Oh, sorry.
I was going to ask the same question. Yeah. And I think the bishop would step in then.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right,
wow, nice line, David.
And pick up the knight. So Hikaru had to retreat, but Fabi, firstly, you can take this knight and just simplify the equation, up 1 pawn long term, or you just move your queen out the way, any safe square, and yeah, you're a pawn up for later. Black's pawn in the center, isolated 2.
Yeah. You know, I'm thinking about Fabi from the 2018 World Championship match, and there in the tie breaks, in the rapid, it was just so one-sided. And now there's this other Fabi version 2.0, where he's been undefeated throughout the Chessable Masters. He won the 2nd division of the Athens Masters. Robert, he's put in so much work in speed chess format, and that couldn't have been easy for him.
No, because he loves classical chess. Because when you play classical chess with the longest time controls, you're often playing your best chess. So for Fabiano to switch, I mean, COVID was not an easy time for him. You saw his classical rating dip quite a lot. He was struggling in most of the tournaments that he played in, but he played a lot online, and he has had success in various online formats. Of course, in the Speed Chess Championship, he lost very badly to Magnus Carlsen. It was a very lopsided match. But Fabiano, he has his podcast, the C-Squared podcast, and he talks about it. So he's very open about some of his struggles, but also his triumphs. And he has given new attention to rapid chess. And look at his results. They speak for themselves.
40 seconds for Fabi. How difficult is the time situation to actually handle this right now? Hikaru coming with a threat after threat on every single move.
You got to start doing the same thing back. Just play f3 right now. He played h4. It's a scary looking move.
Brave stuff from Fabiano, not defending passively, he's defending actively here. He's saying, okay, if you want to come for my king, you might have to ruin your own pawn structure or give me control over some squares. In hindsight, I do think Fabi missed a trick earlier, not trading off his bishop for a black knight when he had the opportunity. Feels like those black knights are so strong. But how does Hikaru keep things going? Shaking his head there, Hikaru, for the first time really in a while.
So he could make a knight trade and he will never lose the game, but he wants to win. He's up a pawn. He does trade the knights first. That doesn't give away his advantage. You see the evaluation bar still suggesting white is better, and that white king can go up to h2, perfectly safe there. So a good start to this attempt for a win for Fabiano.
Yeah, and if this was an Armageddon game, this would be perfect strategy. You just put that white king on h2, never get checkmated. You can pre-move on the other side of the board for the rest of time. And look at what he's done. White king, super safe. Of course, this isn't Armageddon. There is increment, so he still needs to win on the board, Fabi. But OK, he's achieved step 1. That white king, super safe. And whoa, weird move by Nakamura there, giving away all the dark squares.
F5, bro? F5, definitely. I mean, bishop is definitely an extremely strong piece now, but the queen has no entry squares. So this is actually very nice from Hikaru here, but there's no entry squares right now. Oh, yeah, he stopped the queen b5. Yeah, that's nice.
I think he's trying to set up a fortress, Hikaru. He's totally blocked the light squares. The black knight is the only piece on a dark square right now. Everything controlling those light squares, the breakthrough. And how does the white queen get in? Fabiano kind of wincing there, and the black knight is coming around.
He's threatening e4
Oh, yes,
now.
he is. He might play it right now. It's a good chance. He can give up a pawn in the center and go for the dark squares. He says, why give up material? He's doing the same thing, but Tanya, I was the same wavelength as you.
Yeah, but the dark squares, that's what we've been talking about. The queen is entering. It is coming to the other side of the board. Hikaru has to stop that at any cost. Fabiano Caruana down to 14 seconds, but he's got all the trumps in the position.
Why is he putting pieces on dark squares? It's against his strategy. The white bishop now sneaking in, trying to break through, and black creating counterplay. Suddenly the white king not so safe anymore because the white queen is so far away. It's so distracted. OK, that's a check. Do you take this bishop or not? What do we think?
Sheesh.
Knight takes bishop or leave it on the board. He says no, Hikaru.
Okay.
The white queen's coming in.
Queen d8?
Threatening checkmate in 1.
Is trading the queen to
trade
queen
them
d6?
boys.
That's the big question. Black is down a pawn. Hikaru goes for it. He understands that this endgame should not be bad for him. That knight can actually attack the white pawns on the queen side. Fabi has to be careful.
Yeah, Hikaru's going to be optimistic about this endgame. Look at the black knight. It drops in, double attack, attacking 2 pawns. It's level material now. Anything could happen.
Is it advantage Hikaru now with the queen side passes? Is this going to be a difficult position for Fabi to defend in 10 seconds?
Yes, he could lose this game.
Oh my God.
He's allowed Hikaru to have a pass pawn. There it is. All of a sudden, it's winning for black. The bishop cannot handle that pawn. The knight's going to move out of its path, and that pawn's going to promote.
You can't pick up that pawn with the king. There is a fork to follow, and it appears on the board. And Hikaru there throwing his hand. I think he can't believe it himself what has just happened in this game.
No, because he was worse all game until Fabiano got in time trouble.
Yep.
And once that happened, Fabiano, he stumbled. Hikaru took full advantage. That's a well-earned victory for Hikaru Nakamura.